So how this video is going to be structured is that I'm going to be going into a few negatives I have and then the decent amount of positives, because overall I am positive on this show, and I did like a lot. So yeah, I'm just going to get right into that. To start off with the negatives on this episode 5, and the show as a whole, I just feel like all the characters aside from Obi-Wan and Darth Vader aren't always necessarily handled well, especially the rebel leader, Roken I think his name was, just feels forced, quick, underdeveloped, undercooked. Riva, I was okay with overall. Not a great character, not a terrible character. Leia was obviously okay, but overall, I just feel like this whole show should have been a movie. While I did enjoy a lot of scenes, it only came out to what, like 3.5 hours, 4 when you get rid of the credits and the intros. Should have just been a movie with a little bit better writing, a little cleaner, as well as better effects. I feel like the effects were lacking, so those are all the negatives, just to get them out of the way to begin with. Now on to the major positives. I think the characterization of Darth Vader throughout the entire series was done really well, especially in episode 3 when he's just killing people in that fight with Obi-Wan afterwards. Episode 5 when he tears apart that ship and we get the flashbacks between Anakin and Obi-Wan, also a strong point. I just wish we saw a little more. I do love how it was kind of interwoven throughout the episode to show the current struggle, reflecting back on the relationship that Obi-Wan and Anakin had. But I feel like throughout the show in general, we could have seen more flashbacks between these two, and I feel like that would have really helped the overall narrative. Another great scene from this episode is where Darth Vader and Reva face off, and we get the flashbacks to her as a youngling during Order 66, and her viewing Anakin as Anakin instead of Vader in some of these scenes, and the back and forth is really nice, and I like how overpowering and just dominant he is in the fight. It was choreographed beautifully, and I enjoyed it. Obviously, we see that the Grand Inquisitor is still alive, to no one's surprise, I hope, if you saw Rebels, and also they leave her for dead, which makes sense because she isn't a threat to them. Vader sees her as nothing and defeated her, again, with no effort at all. I've said enough about the previous episodes, and now I just really want to talk about episode 6 and this beautiful confrontation between Obi-Wan, Vader, and I'd say Anakin, because it's almost like they're two different people. Once Obi-Wan finally slashes off a piece of Vader's mask, he sees his former Padawan. You see the emotion in his face. It's the first time he's really drawing this connection, like this really is Anakin. He sees him. It's heartbreaking to see Obi-Wan desperately apologizing to his former Padawan, and then the way Hayden and James Earl Jones's voice is kind of mixed together in pieces, as you know, half the mask is broken, as he says, "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did," and before that he says, "I am not your failure, Obi-Wan." It's just truly like haunting, horrific, exorcist-like almost, and it's one of the greatest scenes, if not the greatest, of Disney Star Wars. It's fucking amazing. Well, yes, he may have been conflicted. Anakin was already Darth Vader before the fight on Mustafar. He was Darth Vader the moment he kneeled before the Emperor and chose to slaughter all those younglings as well as the Jedi. Back on Tatooine with Reva, that whole storyline was fine. She sees herself in Luke as an innocent young kid who's about to be slaughtered, and she decides not to. Again, nothing crazy, all fine, but the real heart of this episode is Obi-Wan and Vader, and I truly love those moments together, and honestly, for me, I think it does make the show worth it overall. Yeah, the fight was beautiful, the acting was beautiful, dialogue, I really loved it. Palpatine shows up later for a little cool scene with Vader. I guess everything has to be a cameo now, which is fine. And then another cameo at the end, Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn, which makes sense because Obi-Wan has been reaching out to him throughout the series. As to why Obi-Wan didn't finish off Vader, well, there's the original trilogy where he's alive. There you go. But I guess if you want a story reason, he could almost be like, well, he went there to kill Anakin, and now Anakin is dead in his eyes, killed by Vader. So I guess that works. Whatever. I mean, I enjoyed it nonetheless. The final scenes we get between Leia and Obi-Wan are really cute. And also, I just wanted to say one more thing. At no point did Luke actually see Reva's lightsaber, so that didn't break canon. Just wanted to mention it. But yeah, although the show itself could be argued as breaking canon. But anyway, let's just ignore that. I don't know. I mean, I had a good time overall with the show. I feel like it was stronger than it was not. And yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed this video, and comment below what you thought of the show, and I'll see you in the next one.